Decision fatigue. Okay, on today's quick hit episode, we're going to talk about decision fatigue and if you can relate to me. This actually came to me because I just recently was hanging out with one of my girlfriends. We went out for breakfast and we were getting kind of a kick out of something. Apparently, she was getting a kick out of something that I had shared with her. So the day before that we went out, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. I had had a really busy work day. I was booking travel for an upcoming speaking gig. So that comes with lots of decisions of what airline and where do I want to stay and what dates do I want to fly. And then I had a lot of client meetings that day, a lot of big decisions that I was making. And then I also had a conversation with someone else and we were trying to figure out a bunch of things. And then it's like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm just so curious if you can relate to me on this. It's about 8 o'clock at night. And my friend and I are texting, trying to figure out where we wanted to meet up for breakfast the next day. And so we were talking about some options. She was sending me some options. And I text back. And I should actually look to see exactly what I said to her. I said something around, I am decision fatigued. And she got, okay, this is what I said to her. I said, I can't decide right now. I'm decision fatigued from too many decisions today. I'll sleep on it and let you know in the morning. And kind of said haha. And then in the morning, we kind of figured it out and we were meeting and we're chatting over coffee and breakfast. And this has been my best friend since childhood. So we know each other and all of the things. And she told me she was kind of teasing with her husband around that decision fatigue and just kind of in a loving and joking way, teasing me about it. And I was like, but that is such a real thing. And so I just wanted to have a little chat about it if you're somebody who can relate. And I know those of you listening also are leaders or entrepreneurs, you're executives, you're business owners, you are part of boards, you're part of, make life, moms, dads, husband, wives, friends, constantly making decisions. And especially when it comes to trying to decide where we're going to go for breakfast, obviously low key decision, but when it's come after a day of making big decisions. And so, those of you who are making big decisions in your organizations or within your businesses, within your companies, I'm so curious if this is you because I get decision fatigue when I have been making decisions all day long. By the time the day is done, especially if it's one of those really strategic thinking or high level thinking days, by the end of the day, I'm cashed. I don't want anyone to ask me what's for dinner or where do we want to go the next day. It's just my brain just needs that time. And so I wanted to first of all just share this as a point of relation. If you can relate to me, please let me know. And hopefully it's not just me that gets decision fatigue. But I also wanted to share a couple little tips and ideas for you because I do hear this a lot from leaders that I'm working with as well when I'm doing coaching, working with different leaders and executives around you are responsible for so many decisions. And especially now with the way things are changing so quickly and you might be headed down one way and then you're headed down another. And not only do you have to lead yourself through it, but you have to lead your teams through it and lead other people. And from a personal life standpoint, you've got to lead, maybe you're the head of a household and you've got to lead your family. There's a lot of that responsibility and that pressure. And sometimes I think it's okay to just say I can't right now. I need to wait because the alternative is, and if we think of it from a science standpoint, if you are in the fight, flight, or freeze, so I talk about mental fitness and building up our resilience and all of that. If we think of it from a mental fitness standpoint, we think of it from if you're in this fight, flight, or freeze where it's either you just want to run because you're so exhausted or you're just frozen, you just cannot make any more decisions, we're really not getting to a good result from that place anyways. And so it's really just being aware of that, of going, okay, in this moment, I need a minute. Maybe you can't sleep on it. Maybe it's something that has to be decided, but you can ask for a few moments. Let's just say you're in a meeting. It's a meeting at the end of the day. You've used up all of the brain power. You're exhausted. You don't have anything left. And someone's asking you to make a big decision. it's okay. And actually, it's an opportunity for you to flex that muscle of being able to push back. And there's a couple ways you can handle it to say, hey, this is a really important decision. I want to make sure that I have the time to really think through this. Can I have another hour to think about it? Or can we talk about it the next day? Majority of the time, the things aren't so important that they needed to be decided in that moment, in that second, because really, if you or the other people are not in the right headspace to do it, you're not going to get to the best result. So majority of the time, if you just say, hey, I want to make sure that I'm in the right headspace, that I've had some time to really think about this before I offer my opinion or make a decision on this, most of the time it's completely fine, and it's going to be respected, and it's going to get you to a better result. It's also okay to just have that transparent conversation and just say, hey, I've been making a lot of decisions today. There's a lot of big things, and I need to make sure I just have the time and space to think about this. Can we revisit this in a half hour? Or I hear that a lot too when people will say, like, they're in terms of like their calendars, and they block time to do big thinking and make big decisions or do planning or strategic thinking, and people are pinging them and doing drive-bys their desk and knocking on the door, and they feel like they're all hair on fire type things, and you're not at your best. You're also not helping support them. And so being able to set up that boundary and say, hey, I'm in the middle of this right now. Can we revisit that? Is actually going to get you to a better result, because again, you are trying to make sure that you are in the right energy, you're in the right state. And so another thing that I will recommend as a tip, so asking for that time, asking for some space, saying you need a little bit, more time to think it through. But the other thing, and I just was walking a client through this in a slightly different situation, but she was talking about how she can get triggered by different things. And when she gets triggered by different things, she notices she feels this like burning frustration, and you can handle it more at work. But when it comes to home, usually our guard is down and we have a shorter fuse with our kids, with our spouses or partners. And so she was talking about how frustrating that is for her. And so I was reminding her about how important it is to bring your attention back to your senses. Because again, when you're getting triggered, or when you're decision fatigued, or when you're feeling like, and I asked her, like, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your head? Is it your chest? Is it your stomach? She's like, I just feel it all over. Like my whole body is tense. Like I just get, and she used the example of, which is such a good example. If you've seen the movie, what movie is it? Where there's I'm forgetting it, the little characters in all the different emotions. Oh, it's going to come to me. It's going to come to me while I'm talking. But it's the kids' cartoon where they've got all of the different emotions that you experience. So there's like anger, and there's sadness, and it's going to come to me while I'm talking. But she was using the example of anger in there, and how all of a sudden he'll get like bright red and like flames start coming out of his head. She's like, that's how it feels. So we talked about the importance of bringing your attention back to your senses, because again, what's happening is the left side of your brain, which is where our fight, flight, or freeze, and in different parts of the brain there, is where that's activated, and that's what's happening. And the only way that we can really get that to calm down, so that we can tap into the part of our brain that allows us to think more clearly, to have curiosity, to tap into empathy, to be able to think of other solutions to the problems, is we need to quiet that part of the brain first. And so we were talking about different mental fitness techniques where you're bringing your attention to your senses. And so we talked about taking some deep breaths. And, she shared with me, she's like, I don't like doing the deep breath. She's like, that kind of frustrates me. It's like, okay, what other part of your senses would help you? So we talked about if she is in a space, like not in the office or something, where she's got, there's not people around, she could do like a full body shakeout. Because again, her whole body is feeling this tension and this anxiousness. So we're talking about shaking out your arms, shaking out your legs, like literally shaking out your whole body to try and reset. If she needed something more discreet, we talked about rubbing her two hands together. And again, you really want to bring your attention and focus to that movement of rubbing your hands together. Or even something more discreet is just rubbing your two fingertips together and putting your attention on those senses, or sense of, just like listening to something, and really intensely like listening to something. If you bring your attention to your senses, that could also be a way. So let's just say you are in a meeting, you are in a moment where you do need to make the decision. Like you are like, yes, Julie, I have the decision fatigue, but there's some times where like they need an answer. at least if you were to do one of those, like just take a couple deep breaths or rub your fingertips together or just like stand up, that at least can help to calm your brain and allow you to make a more clear decision. So I just wanted to share those things with you, and hopefully those tips help. I hope I'm not alone in getting this decision fatigue where sometimes it's like, okay, I was on all day, I had to make all those decisions. I don't want to decide what's for dinner. I just want to lay here like a vegetable and whatever your thing is. However, at some point, right, we need to re-engage. So those are the things that I do. Those are the things that I teach my clients to do when they are feeling that. So try these things out the next time that you are feeling, like you can't make one more decision or that you're feeling that frustration, and see how those help you out. And of course, if you're somebody who's looking for more support in these things and how do you implement this in your work, let's connect. And I would love to help give you even more ideas of how this can help you to make more decisions, to build your businesses, to build your organizations from a place of calm and clarity and clear head, clear-minded, and allowing you to really step into your full potential from that place of clarity.